Okay. So we're gonna look at the new Horde mode, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts.
It's been 5 years since we first set foot on the ready line of the UAS Endeavour, and following the announcement of the next expedition prepping for launch, we've been very much looking forward to another glorious day in the core. Thanks to Cold Iron Studios, that day has come a bit sooner than expected, as we were granted exclusive early access to a preview build of the game's full Horde mode. So come get some with us as we survive waves of unrelenting enemies and aliens.
Okay, so that must have been the shotgun mode that we talked about yesterday.
Full Horde mode. So come get some with us as we survive waves of unrelenting enemies and aliens. Fireteam Elite 2. Immediately as we booted the preview up, the menus and aliens. Fireteam Elite 2.
There's another thing I'm checking out. I don't know if this is the class or this is the aiming.
Aliens. Fireteam Elite.
So it looks like we have one of each class. Which I don't know what I think I know what class this is because I saw them earlier, but we'll get to it.
Immediately as we booted the preview up, the menus and UI were instantly recognizable, heavily featuring the retro future tech vibes we've come to expect in the world of Alien. Particularly this incarnation of Alien's Fireteam Elite seems heavily inspired by the aesthetic of Alien Romulus, with its yellow tinted layouts and heavily chunky sounding computer noises. From what we've been able to glance at from traversing into Horde mode, the game's presentation and production value have seen a welcome significant upgrade from the original. We'd also be remiss if we didn't mention our delight at hearing some of the intense new score by composer Austin Wintory. Original Aliens Fireteam Elite, you know the gist.
Okay, wait, I kind of skipped it for copyright.
Of things here. This is wave survival against enemies while you and your team see how far you can make it.
Okay, let's see. I don't like enemies that shoot. This does not feel like a game. Like, okay, yeah, in the first one they did have enemies that shoot, but they were like for levels, they weren't for Horde, because it just kind of made sense. It's kind of the problem with Space Marines, where it's like you have chaos, and they're obviously away from the Tyranids, but it feels like the game is made to you to fight Tyranids.
You and your team see how far you can make it before exfilling with your earned rewards or getting yourselves wiped out in the process.
He mentioned it goes to 5 instead of 10 for victory waves. So let's say you want to do like 20 rounds. That would basically mean that you get 4 in-game chances. So you get basically 5 waves. It says, do you want to leave 5 waves? Do you want to leave 5 waves? Do you want to leave 5 waves? Do you want to leave?
There's been some notable tweaks here, with rounds ending every 5 waves instead of the previous game's 10.
They brought the pathogen back, and I'm not the big fan of the pathogens.
Each round takes about 12 to 15
I don't know anyone who likes them.
minutes to complete, lending this mode to short and intense play sessions. There's always the choice. Do you bail out with what rewards you've earned after hard-fought 5 waves, or do you press on for even greater rewards if you can make it through another round? We had the pleasure of dropping on each of the 3 Horde mode maps that will be available at launch: Crash Landed, Black Site, and Crusher. Crash Landed is near the base of a looming atmosphere processor, which seems to be based on the early campaign level we saw in the IGN preview. Black Site takes place in a reddish desert-type biome, with a crashed engineer vessel surrounding the area. And finally, Crusher is underground in a mining facility with heavy machinery. Beyond their visual differences, the maps play a bit differently as well. Crash Landed was more like a classic arena, with a central landing platform and multiple pathways enemies can make their way to you from the distance ahead. Black Site had surrounding elevated catwalks on the sides that you could use to get some distance from a group of enemies. And Crusher featured multiple floors, having a real focus on verticality. We didn't really find spots where we could just hide in a corner and hold up with a single choke point, but with enough planning you can still effectively make a defensive stand. In between rounds, you'd be wise to run over to the vending machine, as our new colonial marines were fond of saying, resupply or die. Here you use points you've earned for surviving a wave to purchase extra equipment. Elemental ammo types play more of a role in AFE2. with each enemy type having an elemental ammo they're vulnerable and resistant to. With the new 4-player squad option, I joined up with fellow Alien vs. Predator Galaxy staff members Corporal Hicks, the Xenoplays, and Still Collating to deploy into the chaos on LV-558. If you can't join up with friends during a play session, you can always fight alongside your
So we got... I like how the bots have hats now. Okay. Rating. There's still a ton of hostile activity around. Like Pierce is loud. Get down there and thin them out.
trusty Seegson
So, I mean, really missed opportunity to let you customize the bots.
combat synthetic companions, Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. Or you can go it solo. Also, we're not only against xenomorphs this time around. Each time you fire up Horde mode, you'll randomly face Xenos, pathogenic enemies, or Weyland-Yutani combat synthetics. You'll be up against those enemies for 5 waves, and should you choose to continue the carnage, you could randomly face more of those enemies or another enemy type. While there is a bit of thrill in the anticipation of which enemy type is coming your way, we do hope to be able to select, perhaps via challenge
It looks like we have slow grenades.
cards, which enemies we face, as we sometimes found ourselves restarting matches because we just wanted to take on those Xenos. Speaking of challenge cards, they can be used in Horde mode at launch this time around, and unlike the first game, all challenge cards chosen by all players will go into effect. Mixing and matching up to 4 cards can certainly make for some wild combinations. While we also have most of the enemy types from the first game returning, the new enemy types are more varied than I expected. Each faction's numerous standard and high priority threats create unique combat encounters. The new Siren Xenomorph emits a loud screeching rattle, calling in other Xenos to overwhelm you. It likes to keep calling from afar and will try and run from you if you find it. These need to be taken out quickly, and they can sometimes spawn in pairs, which can make for a mad dash to find them and bring them down. There's also a massive and hulking new Xenomorph type, the Warden, which towers over you and takes focused fire and abilities to bring down. The other 2 factions have new outfits of their own. Part of the way you sense forces are new robotic enemies, with variations of spider bots and larger assault units, which honestly made us think of Star Wars' battle droids. The pathogen enemies also have nasty new foes, such as the Gas Bag and Harbinger. We also encountered another imposing new pathogen enemy that will lead you to discover for yourselves. While the Marine classes you play as may feel familiar to some of their roles from the first game, these classes are distinct.
So we're gonna go back. So right now we're on Hunter, but you got a status, bolt, particle, pulse. So we're gonna go back just a little bit. So we already went. Let's see.
While the Marine classes you play as may feel
So we got Duelist with burst configuration, which is basically if I have like the shotgun, which doesn't seem like Duelist gets the assault faster shooting, because that was like very good on assault. That was probably his like main big thing, was just wrecking shit with shotguns. Excuse me. Shrapnel grenade, of course. Armed with a powerful custom rifle and grenades, duelists are versatile damage dealers, great for new players and veterans alike. Unlike other classes, they have the option of wielding a secondary primary weapon and increased ammo. Okay, so you could have 2 primary slots, which I guess makes sense because you don't want everyone having shotguns, because I was very overpowered in the first one. Okay.
familiar to some.
We got Mechanist, controlling space with their deployable turrets and drones. Mechanists provide a fire team with extra firepower and point defense. They'll have access to plasma weaponry that, when managed well, can reduce the need for ammo. Okay. So we got the sentry turret, and then we got bodyguard. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, hey, when does What is bodyguard? Is that for your character or is that for the turret? And I hope it's like something you could throw on a teammate and it like protects them. And it'd be all good.
Some of their roles from the first game.
Marauder. So we got Titan rockets and blast cannons. So we've seen the Titan rockets. They're Marauders excel at damaging and disrupting large groups of enemies. Bringing in a fire team with vulnerable crowd control. They have access to heavy weaponry such as smart guns, heavy flamethrowers, and rocket launchers.
These classes are distinct.
This is basically, so this is assault, this is tactician, this is a demolisher, and so let's keep going down. This is probably a sniper class, I forget what they're called. Hunters excel at eliminating disabled high priority targets, can increase their overall damage for the entire fire team. They have access to high power, long range rifles, and beam weaponry, so I think that's what we saw earlier. Okay.
In their new abilities.
So we got medic, healing, support, and defense. Able to heal and support their fire team with powerful buffs. Medics are an integral part of any fire team. They have access to unique close range weaponry such as shotguns and SMGs. I mean, it's not really unique if it's you just gave them secondaries. So ooh, they have secondaries, guys. That's so unique. You're gonna want to play that class just like in the first one.
And available weapons.
Specialists can be outfitted with any ability, perk, or weapon that has been unlocked that can be customized to your preference for complete flexibility. Wait, so they get the remote detonator, which Duelist had in the first one, but like they get the particle beam. Okay. It looks like you get a smart gun, so it does look like you get two primaries. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, And Duelist got the shrapnel grenade, which I feel like they just took two different grenades and said, okay, you should have just made another class called like Grenadier that has like a specific type of grenade, which would have been cool. Okay, let's skip a little bit ahead.
Who had dual primary weapon slots. I couldn't help but use both the classic M41A pulse rifle as well as Alien Romulus's F44AA pulse rifle. The Duelist also has various grenade types they can equip, as well as a powerful additional limited use weapon, the BD-76 Raniax platform rifle. Another class that many players will be sure to use is the Specialist class, which allows you to create your own custom class from scratch. They have primary and signature class weapon slots, and their abilities and perks can be taken from all the other classes to build one that fits your playstyle.
These enemies, if it sticks into, decreases their movement speed and damage dealt by 20%. I mean, dazes them. I mean, I guess that could be good for like big enemies. Then their movement speed and damage dealt by 20%. I'd rather take the dealt by 20% and switch that over to everyone does 20% damage to the enemy you just hit. because it's one enemy. Like, it's literally one enemy. So unless I'm using that on a big target, that
Beyond the
just
impressive new
sucks.
presentation, there are also
Fires a single powerful shot. X. Da, da. Bonus of the gunslinger is multiplied by 5 times.
some nice quality of life additions.
Okay. Let's see.
They have primary.
Runner has an increased explosion radius if it sticks into an enemy. Oh! Oh! Okay. That kind of feels like they've been watching people stick the grenade into enemies. So let's get a nice
And
touch.
signature class weapon slots. And their abilities and perks can be taken from all the other
Stomping power increased by 15%.
classes to build one that fits your
Increase the stomping power of this ability by 10%. So
playstyle.
okay.
On the impressive new presentation, there are also some nice quality of life additions.
Hit by particle pulse has their movement speed and damage reduced by 20%, 5 seconds.
And gameplay tweaks. You can crouch at any time instead of only while in cover like in the first game. 2 players can revive a downed Marine or combat synth at once, which accelerates the process. And players are equipped with a new melee stun baton, which can be used to swing at enemies bunching up on you. All the difficulties return from the first game, but they've seen some changes. Enemies are less bullet spongy than the first game on higher difficulties, but the high priority threats will appear earlier and more often. Abilities will also cause friendly fire. And ammo boxes will have a finite supply, forcing you to seek out ammo boxes in another area of the map if your squad relies on one too much. The ammo will eventually respawn though. We had a blast playing the new Horde mode of Aliens Fireteam Elite 2. It feels like a multiplier was applied to everything we enjoyed about the original title. Enemies are faster and more cunning, combat is more dynamic, and the customization, class building, and challenge cards seem like they'll reach new levels of depth. We can't wait to jump back aboard the Endeavor when the game releases later this summer. This has been Ridgetop from AVP Galaxy, signing off.
Okay. I don't know what these tiers are. Like, I guess. But from what I've seen, it looks pretty alright. My wall is all ready for this game. When was this video taken? 5 days ago. I'll leave it at that. Actually, you know what? Let's see if they even have a. Let's see if they even have a doop-a-doop-doop-bop. Yeah, I like heavily cleared out my like wish list, to be honest. We know it's coming out 8/25/2026, which is basically like a month away. I'm not seeing the price. So digital standard edition will be available at August 25th on Xbox Series X, blah 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 store and Steam for $49.99, and the Fireteam Elite 2 40th Anniversary Premium Edition will be available simultaneously across those platforms for SRP $69.99. So basically speaking, I think with like the $100, probably just put $100 on there, just to be safe. And I think the lowest edition is like $50. Um, and it will be a-okay. That does remind me, how much is World Slayer? Let's say it's like 19. Okay, so altogether it's like $20. Okay, we will leave it there. So like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.